Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 of my favorite winter seasonal scents from Barrister and Mann. Coming right up. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host John, aka Latherhog, and today we're going to be talking about winter seasonal scents. So I love scents that evoke imagery of the winter. This can range from foods that are typically eaten in the season to scents that transport you to the middle of the forest just after a snowstorm. Amongst the many scents and shaving that I've tried, there's one artist in particular that always nails the winter seasonal scent, and that's Will Carius from Barrister and Mann. While there are many to choose from, even if we just limit it to the winter, I've narrowed it down to 5 of my favorite winter seasonal offerings from Barrister and Mann. Let's get to the list. So at number 5 we have Oh Delight, and this one's inspired by the beloved children's tale. Honestly, this is beloved by adults too. It's C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, more specifically the dessert called Turkish Delight. This one has scent notes of orange, hazelnut, lemon, honey, and apricot, and it really pays homage to the many varieties and many flavors that you can find Turkish Delight in. Oh Delight is a unique offering. I would say most of the scents on this list are one of a kind, very unique in the sea of possible scents that you might get. And if you're a big fan of gourmand scents or food-inspired scents, this is definitely one to get your nose on. Next up at number 4, we have Dickens or Dickens Revisited. This one is inspired by one of Will's favorite holiday cookies and features the scent notes of cherry, black pepper, nutmeg, cardamom, and lemon. And a quick note about the difference between Dickens and Dickens Revisited is that Revisited came afterwards. It was a slight modification on the scent. That being said, I really would recommend either one. If you are more sensitive to sweet scents, you want something a little bit dialed back, go for Dickens Revisited. If you love sugar and you love sugary scents, go for the original Dickens if you can find it. Dickens is sure to evoke imagery of making sugar cookies at home. Granted, the scent itself is a little more complex than maybe the sugar cookies of our youth, but nonetheless, it'll still bring kind of those fuzzy, warm holiday memories. Next up at number 3, we have First Snow. So First Snow is a great example of beauty in simplicity. This is where the notes listed right on the label aren't that different from the actual notes in the scent itself, which quite simply is fur, leather, and menthol. First Snow was originally conceived as a gentleman's menthol, and it really makes you feel like you're walking through snow-covered woods in a new leather jacket. Yeah, just smelling off the tub, that fur is really the first thing to pop, and the leather doesn't really make itself present until you lather it up. And once that leather does make itself present, it is a very smooth suede leather. We just had our first snow last week here in the Boston area, so this scent is at the top of my mind. If the idea of a simple, straightforward winter scent appeals to you, and you like scents that represent real places outdoors, you should try to track this one down, First Snow. So we're more than halfway through the list. If you're enjoying this video, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please consider becoming a subscriber, as it will really help grow the channel, but also lets you know when there's a new video that drops. So next up at number 2, we have a very beautiful scent here. It is called Eigengrau. So a little backstory here. The scent Eigengrau was conceived as a variation on a scent called L'Eau d'Hiver by House of Mal from 2003. While L'Eau d'Hiver paints a very happy picture of the winter, think sunlit ski slopes, Eigengrau is, in some ways, its exact opposite. We're talking about a dark winter's night, full of mystery and laden with potential danger. So Eigengrau is much more complex. It's probably the most complex scent so far on this list, and it's polarizing, meaning it's not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. The scent notes on this one is lichen, heliotrope, frigid air, fir needle, iris, and moss. So the note that's really going to make or break this scent for most people is iris, and that floral note is super unique. It is one that some designer perfume houses have really used to diversify what's available as far as men's fragrances. In particular, I'm looking at the Dior Homme line and the Prada L'Homme line. These are, I guess, very sophisticated, very modern smelling, but again, sometimes it's just too feminine or kind of too weird for some people. I'll be honest with you guys and say that when I first got Eigengrau, I found it very interesting, but I probably labeled it as not for me. But the more that I've held on to it, the more that I've used it, I've really fallen in love with the scent. So if you consider yourself a wet shaving hobbyist and you really like the scent side of things, looking for unique offerings, things that really don't smell like anything else out there, Eigengrau really fits the bill as far as diversification and just maybe even challenging your nose to something different. And last but not least, at number 1, we have what is my favorite scent from the Barrister and Mann catalog. We're talking about Vespers. So as of the recording of this video, Vespers just returned to market in the new omnibus base. It's one that I think a lot of people have been excited to either buy a backup tub of or check out for the first time. This scent was inspired by the Christmas market of Goslar, Germany, and brings to mind a small mountain town at the start of winter. Vespers features notes of cranberry, rose, sandalwood, patchouli, geranium, cardamom, fir, musasax, bergamot, lavender, oak moss, and lastly, coumarin. That's a long list of scent notes. To further break it down a bit, the notes called out on the label itself, actually, it's really what I get from my nose. Cranberry, balsam, mustasax, and fern, those 4. The cranberry in Vespers isn't super sweet. Actually, you might have to search around a bit to find that note. I find once you lather it up, it's much more easily detectable. And that cranberry, the fruitiness of that kind of blends right into this green, the fern that's called out. There's a green fougere-likeness to this scent. It's probably no surprise that given that long list of scent notes, this one's quite complex. It kind of changes over time and really brings you on a journey as you go through your shave. I also want to mention that out of the many scents that feature that mustasax accord, which by itself is kind of powerful and musky, mustasax here though plays such a nice complementary role to the overall scent. I think it gives it some body, it gives it something unique to it, and of all the mustasax containing scents, it is by far my favorite as well. Well, this isn't going to be to everyone's taste. It is my favorite of all of Barrister and Mann scents. All the scents aren't always a hit for me, mind you, but when one of the scents hits right, it really hits right. So I'd highly recommend you guys to try a sample of it, borrow it from a friend, but either way, get your nose on this one, lather it up, and make a call for yourself. And that's my list of my 5 favorite winter seasonal scents from Barrister and Mann. Do you agree or disagree? Was there something I left off the list? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. I know this is a hectic and stressful time of year, so I just want to wish you guys the best. Stay safe and stay positive. I'll catch you next time. Take care.
Today's video was made possible in part by our wonderful patrons. For more information about our Patreon, check out patreon.com/lathertalk. You can also check out our Etsy store and pick up a comfy Lather Talk t-shirt or coffee mug. Find all the links down below.